Hey everyone, and welcome to World Heritage Journey, where today we're at the church town of Gammelstad in Lulea, northern Sweden. The Gammelstad church town dates from the 16th and 17th centuries, and it's a town literally constructed around a church, but with one key difference: people don't actually live here. In this remote area of northern Sweden, people mostly live on outlying farms, but they still need a place to go to church, particularly on holidays. And so they would construct small cottages around the church where they could spend the day or multiple days traveling to their cottage, spend the night, attend services, and then spend days traveling back to their farms. Let's have a look around. Behind me is the centre of town, the church, and it really dominates the area. It sits on top of a high hill and you can see it from almost any point in the village. Now, it was built in the 15th century and it's the largest medieval church in northern Sweden. Although the outside is fairly plain, on the inside it's very richly decorated. Let's check it out. Church towns were actually very common in northern Sweden, where the distances are vast and the population is very dispersed. There were actually 71 of them spread across northern Sweden, though only a handful of them remain, and most of those have been thoroughly modernised. Gammelstad at its peak had almost 500 cottages, and about 480 of those still remain today. This behind me is one of the larger ones, and it's also one of the only ones that's not privately owned. And what I find fascinating is that although the majority of them are privately owned, there's actually a law that says you're not allowed to live in them. They're actually still only used on church days and festivals. But you probably wouldn't want to live in one anyway, because there's no running water, most of them don't have sewage, though most of them do have electricity. So there's two main reasons why Gammelstad has been preserved in such a good fashion. The first is that it didn't suffer any major fires, which are a constant hazard when you build wooden towns in almost Arctic conditions. But the second is that the land here is changing. It's lifting up, which means that this was once an important harbour town, but because the land has changed, the river has moved, and so everyone just sort of moved down the road a couple of kilometres away where the modern town is today. And this was just left as a church town, which meant it didn't have to modernise and make space for lots of cars and parking lots and stuff like that. Well, this has been a really interesting visit because you don't often see medieval wooden villages like this, especially ones that are so extensive and well preserved. We've been to plenty of medieval cities made out of stone. There are a dime a dozen in Europe, but little wooden villages like this, very rare, and so this has been really exciting. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Joel on the road, and I'll see you at the next World Heritage Site.